Alright, this is lesson 6 of the Afrobeat production course, and in previous videos we have only been using notes belonging to the scales to make chord progression, but in this video we'll be going out of our comfort zone to use notes which are out of the scale. So let's jump right in. Alright, to begin with, I'll just select my scale, open up a sampler track, click on this tool and select the major scale. We'll do the C major scale, the easiest of the scale to remember, all white keys. With basic chord harmony, we know that the first, that's the tonic note, is our resolutional chord, and any other chord in the progression tends to resolve back to the tonic. If you use particularly the dominant chord, it creates the satisfying musical cadence like the 5-1. By the way, this lesson is a follow-up of our lesson 3, harmony in chord progression. I recommend you see that before you jump into this lesson. Alright, so in order to build chords using all 12 keys, let's first dive into this quick exercise to group notes into tonic notes, subdominant, and then dominant. Alright, so on the first degree, that's our tonic. Let's build a major chord on it. And to make it a minor chord, we drop the third a half step. So I'll keep all these notes and keep the D sharp in there too. Now we have added 2 more notes to our tonic notes, the flat third and then the fifth. But in lesson 3, we classify the fifth as a dominant. Well, it still holds that position. Let me explain further. Using the fifth as a substitute for the tonic chord is uncommon in traditional Western music theory because the fifth has these unstable characteristics that creates a sense of tension that usually wants to resolve to the tonic first. However, in more contemporary music like experimental music like Afrobeat and then jazz music or even pop songs, they mostly use the fifth as a substitute for the tonic. Alright, so the next note in the scale is the subdominant, the second. Let me just switch the color. So we'll build the tonic chord on it. So that's a minor chord. To make it a major chord, we raise the third. Now all these notes belongs to the subdominant group. Let's move on to the 4th degree. That will be a major chord, and we do a minor chord version. We have the G sharp, also as the subdominant. The 6th degree too is a subdominant. We repeat same process. And then we have the C sharp. Lastly, let's look at the dominant. So the 5th. We have the major chord, the G chord, drop the 3rd, and then we have the A sharp and then the B as our dominant. Now we have covered all 12 keys and classified them into their respective group of tonic, subdominant, and then dominant. Now if you recall from lesson 3, the characteristics of the dominant, subdominant, and then the tonic, we'll be using same principles to build chord progression on this course, and then I'll explain the music theory behind them. Alright, so anything you do on the keys, consciously or unconsciously, might fall under a theory. There's no right or wrong in music. If it sounds good, then you are good to go. So these are just guidelines. The rest you have to experiment and come up with something extraordinary. So on to the progression. Let's do the tonic, the C major, and then go to the 4th. But drop the 3rd and make it a minor chord. Then the subdominant wants to go to the dominant. So let's do the A sharp or B flat, which is out of the scale. Like I said earlier, dominant feels unstable and mostly resolves to the tonic first. So let's do the C major again. It will sound disconnected when I press play, so I'll invert this note to move them close to each other. So here's what we have. Now let me explain the theories behind them. I'll tell you why this F is a minor chord. It's because it's taken from the parallel minor key of C. So basically, scales that shares the same tonic note are parallel scales. Alright, with the C major scale, if we use the C and then build any other scale on it, like with the C minor, whether we build a natural minor, harmonic or melodic minor, or even a Dorian scale, they are basically parallel scales so far as they share the same tonic note. So I'll build a C minor scale with whole steps and half steps. So with that, we have a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, and then whole step. This is the C minor scale, and if you count, the F is the 4th degree. But in the minor scale, the 4th is a minor chord if you build diatonic chords on them. So we can conclude that this F minor is a borrowed chord from the parallel minor key of C. Alright, with the A sharp or A flat, what theory is behind it? With the progression, we flatten the 7th in the C major. Instead of the B, we use B flat. So if you count from the C minor scale, the 7th degree is B flat or A sharp. So we basically borrowed it from the C minor scale. But technically, the go-to dominant chord is the 5th in the major scale. So we say that we have substituted it with a flat 7th, so a B flat. So with this theory under your belt, I've introduced borrowed chords and then chord substitution. Now you can apply and then play with all the notes in the scale to build any chord progression of your choice. So let's do more examples. Let's do the first. Maybe a subdominant G sharp. So instead of doing E flat to make it a major chord, I raised the 5th for it to be an augmented chord. The only reason behind it is that I want a shared note between the C major and then the next chord. So the E is shared between the C major and then the G sharp augmented. And go to the 5th. We invert this note. Now we listen to what we have. That's a nice progression. You notice that the flat 6th, that's the A flat, it's from the parallel minor key of C. The 6th degree in the C minor is A flat or G sharp, whichever way you want to refer to it. Alright, let's go to example 3. Let's do the first again. Maybe flatten the 3rd. Instead of the E, we are doing E flat or D sharp. In the minor key, the 3rd is a major chord. Now you know I am borrowing the 3rd E flat from the parallel key of C minor. So let's do the 4th and another 4th again. But let's make the last 4th a minor chord. So you notice that we borrowed again from the C minor. Invert notes, and here's what we have. So with example 4, we are always starting from the 1st. Let's do something different. So let's do the flat 3rd. Then go to the 5th. Alright, let's go straight to the flat dominant. Instead of a B, we substitute it for a A sharp or B flat. And then the 3rd. So here's what we have. A satisfying progression. Lastly, let me play around to sign out. So in the next lesson, we'll be looking at rhythms and then syncopations in 2 parts. Like always, thanks for watching and then see you in the next video.